Most people chasing weight loss and following some kind of diet have an easy time losing weight until they have some kind of travel planned. Then they let the trip get the best of them, they get thrown way off their diet, and they lose all the progress they've been making for the weeks leading up to this trip. But it doesn't have to be that way. And by the end of this video, I promise you are going to learn exactly what I and all of my clients do to consistently travel and take trips throughout the year, but never skip a beat or lose any of our progress. In fact, the framework I'm going to show you today works so well inside of our coaching and is so unbelievably simple to follow that many of our clients actually lose more weight while traveling because their progress continues even while they're on the road. My name is Cody McBroom, and I am the founder of Tailored Coaching Method, a world-renowned online fitness and nutrition coaching company that helps average people lose weight and keep it off for the rest of their lives. And as always, I like to put these frameworks into some kind of analogy or acronym because as human beings, that's how our brain remembers things best. And this acronym is P.I.S.S. Yes, P.I.S.S. And I do that because it will stick in your brain. So I know it sounds ridiculous and maybe piss is a bad word in your household, or maybe piss just sounds like a weird word you don't like to say. The reality is that if I say piss 10 more times, maybe even one more time, piss, 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 3 more times, you are going to remember the word piss. I'm going to break down each of these letters within the acronym of P.I.S.S. so you can have a simple strategy and framework to remember and use next time you or your clients travel and are in the middle of a weight loss journey. Diving right into this P.I.S.S. acronym, we have P, which is plan ahead. Planning ahead is by far the most simple thing that everybody is required to do when they're trying to lose weight. And this doesn't always mean I have to prep a bunch of Tupperwares full of food. It just means I need to plan ahead. What am I going to eat? What is my menu? Where am I eating? Where am I shopping? What times of day do I have time or space to sit down and have a meal? You need to think ahead and you need to have an accurate plan, especially when you travel. Most people don't do this until the last minute, and by then they say, screw it. I'm just gonna go with the flow because I'm traveling. But the reality is by you saying screw it and going with the flow, you're also giving up on yourself and your goals. This is going to reinforce self-doubt because you're not following through. And every time you reinforce self-doubt, you bring your own self-belief down. And self-belief is the confidence, skill, and tool you need to see the long-term journey to get from point A to point B being your goal. Travel is going to happen within that point A to point B journey, and you need to be ready for it. And that requires planning. And so the first step of planning is to choose the right hotel or Airbnb. And this can be really simple. Go to Google and type in the address or the area you need to go. So if you're going to a venue, event, if you are going on a work trip, if you are staying at Disneyland, whatever it may be, look up the address and then just type in on Google Maps, restaurants near blank, wherever the destination is, grocery stores near blank, gyms near blank. And if you can't find a gym, that is fine. That is like the last bonus cherry on top. I am totally fine with my clients doing workouts in a hotel gym. If anything, it acts as a deload because we can train a little bit lighter and we can just get some movement in. The big key here is finding food nearby. And so if you can control where your Airbnb or hotel is, unless it's a work trip that they are forcing you to go to a specific spot because they're paying and comping the hotel, which I've been in those situations as well. But even in those, you can still find out where the nearest grocery store is. When you can plan and choose your own hotel or Airbnb, I highly suggest you plan ahead and do so by finding one that is near good whole food options. Second, you need to choose a hotel with a fridge and not a wine cooler. I have made this mistake before. I went into a hotel. I thought it was a fridge. It was a fancy wine cooler, drink chiller or something like that. And all my food went bad. I loaded my food up with dairy and produce and things that I wanted for my stay, came back from the event that I was speaking at, and by the end of the day, all my food was spoiled. I was shit out of luck in that situation. But what you can do is just request a fridge and ask them, what kind of fridge is it? If possible, request a microwave. There's a lot of times where a microwave is available. Now, if you're in Airbnb, you're gonna have a full-blown kitchen. So as long as you chose a place that is nearby a grocery store or something similar, you're golden. But the point is you need somewhere to store your food. And third, have your hour by hour itinerary mapped out. One, this allows you to refer back to it when you are going through the mix of things and you're in the flow and it's chaos because you're on travel for work or family vacation or whatever it may be. You wanna be able to look back back and go, okay, what are we doing? What is the plan? When am I going to have moments to eat? You might give into a craving, but you didn't realize in 30 minutes, you're going to be sitting around for 2 hours. You could have just waited. Use some self-control and discipline and get to that period of time where you can make a better option and you can slowly eat instead of grabbing a quick bite. And what this also allows you to do up front as you're looking at your itinerary is plan ahead, like the whole point of P in the acronym P.I.S.S is thinking about what meals you're going to have, what areas you're going to be in, and what food restaurants or stores are going to be around those events that you're partaking in. And just overall seeing your agenda of activities for the trip allows you to plan your meals out better. And when we have a plan, we are in control. And when we are in control, we have a better chance and opportunity to make the right decisions that lead us towards our goals. The second letter in the P.I.S.S acronym framework is I, and that is for Instacart. I am mind blown at how many people don't do this. And when I tell them to do this, they are mind blown. They are shocked. They're like, man, why didn't I think of this first? That's why I often say this is the triple U hack. It is unbelievably underutilized. And yes, that is definitely a dad joke. So hashtag dad joke. I think you're like a super dad, even if you just say out loud, hashtag dad joke. Anyway, and I actually don't travel without doing this specific thing. I've already planned out where I'm gonna stay, and I know I have a fridge. If I have a microwave, that changes my order. And what I do is I literally order on Instacart and click deliver while I am in the Uber or my rental car going from the airport to the place I am staying, whether it's a hotel or an Airbnb. So what I get there, it is already there. In fact, it actually saves you a lot of time because you don't have to, one, search your phone for different restaurants and places every time you have a meal. Two, it allows you to do this in the Uber. So when you're on your way, especially if you're not driving a rental car, you can do it on your phone. You can add your macros into MyFitnessPal if you're tracking, and somebody else is going to shop for you and bring it there. You're going to save money on top of all this because it is cheaper to shop at a grocery store than it is to buy one-off meals that are already prepped for you at restaurants. So by doing this, you stay more aligned with your goals, you remove stress, you save time, and you actually save money by doing it. So whether it's high protein snacks or it's specific ingredients to make a meal, something like overnight oats where I buy Quaker oats, I buy Greek yogurt, I buy blueberries, I mix it all up into a Tupperware. Sometimes I'll just buy paper bowls at the store as well, and I put that in the fridge with some wrap around it. If I wake up in the morning and I have breakfast, I don't have to get the shitty breakfast in the hotel lobby that is being served on trays. It's disgusting. And it's probably cooked in a bunch of oil, adding a ton of fat to my diet that I don't feel like having, especially if I'm in a controlled calorie diet for the purpose of losing fat. And so if you look at my Instacart receipts, you'll see things from when my team is coming out to visit and I'm ordering food for their Airbnb. You'll see my family vacation at Disneyland, and I will have them show up at the Disney resort lobby and I'll bring it up to my hotel, which saves me a ton of money at Disneyland and avoids me having to eat Mickey Mouse lollipops and those Oreo covered churros that everybody craves about. It allows me to have good food in my hotel, staying on track, and only indulge when I want to. I do this at the beach when we go on family vacation. I do this when I'm getting flown out to somewhere like recently, North Carolina, Raleigh, to speak at my good friend Sam Miller's event. No matter where I'm going, you'll see it in my Instacart receipts, and it is a habit that has stuck with me for years now and keeps me lean while I'm on the road. The third letter in the P.I.S.S acronym is S, and this stands for support. And to put it simply, what's your accountability like? You have to have accountability when you are striving for a goal. If you don't, you're going to struggle to get the results. Research shows that people are 95% more likely to achieve their weight loss goals when they have some form of accountability that they are paying for. That is unbelievable. You cannot pass up that statistic and ignore the fact that paying for accountability is helpful, but you don't always have to pay for it. Maybe you signed up for a race or a fitness event competition that you want to get prepared for. Maybe you have an event and a deadline that you're losing weight for, like a wedding. Or maybe you have an accountability partner or buddy that you are going to the gym with often that you text while you're gone and send them your plan just for the simple fact of showing somebody proof that you actually did it. Regardless of wherever your support is coming from, this is a crucial part of the weight loss journey. And that is especially true when you are traveling and you are not in your normal home routine of going to the gym, training, going on walks, eating your diet based on the food in your pantry and fridge. And truthfully, most people fail to reach their ultimate goal because of this one simple fact. They don't have have real accountability in their life. And support is the number one way to guarantee you are accountable of going all the way from point A to point B, which is your ultimate goal. Now, obviously, hiring a coach is the best form of accountability because this person has experience, they have knowledge, and they are being paid by you, which means it is literally their job to bug you, to poke you, to pop in and check in on you, to have you report to them, to communicate with you, to help you create a plan, help nudge you to use Instacart, and of course, this S giving you the support you need based on your individual demands. So I do believe if you want to avoid your progress regressing and you want to make sure you don't skip a beat when you were in your fat loss journey while you're traveling, I think accountability is the number one thing. Even though it's the third letter of this acronym and it does come after those other two, it does not make it any less valuable. And the fourth letter in this P.I.S.S acronym is S, which stands for stacking habits. And the truth is, you should already have habits stacked up because you are actively losing weight. If you are watching this video, it means that you are trying to lose weight or you're trying to help your client lose weight, and travel is coming up. You have a trip, you have a work event, you have vacation, or your client has one of those things. But the point is if you've already begun your journey and you're already making progress, you have had to acquire some of these habits. You may have some habits that you don't even realize you've accumulated because they subconsciously happen through acting on different things. And so what you want to do is be more intentional with the habits you have, journal these habits so you understand what actions am I actually taking which lead me to the result I'm chasing. And once you do that, you will have a literal list that you can take with you on the road. And so you can do this pretty easily by just identifying what you're doing throughout the day in your day-to-day routine for losing weight. Do you plan your meals the night before? That's a great habit. Keep doing that while you're on the road. Do you go for a morning walk? Do you start your morning with a bottle of water, drinking some fluids, or maybe even a greens drink? Another great habit. Don't stop just because you're on the road. Even habits unrelated to your diet or training, such as meditating or reading or maybe journaling. If you're doing those in your morning routine, bring those with you on the road. The point is, keep as much of your routine from back home with you while you're traveling, because that's what keeps you grounded. It keeps you focused on your goals, and it keeps you in a normal flow that you are familiar with, which has proven up to this point to help you reach your goals. And obviously, you can't keep everything exactly the same as you normally do in your home environment, but that's okay. If you can do it 80% as well as you could at home, it is worth bringing with you. And to finish on this last S in the acronym, don't be afraid to create new habits or ways of accomplishing those same habits since you're going to be in a new environment. And to do this, you can actually use a science-based strategy for helping develop self-discipline, which has been shown in research numerous times. It's called the if-then statements. If I blank, then I will blank. And when you stack these things together, you are basing your actions off of specific situations, and it allows discipline to happen more naturally and form more easily, which again has been shown in studies numerous times. So a good example of this would be if I stay in a hotel, then when I wake up, I'm going to grab my coffee and do a lap around the building. And this might not be your norm, but it allows you to get some movement in early, burn some extra calories, and increase your total step count for the day. And when you do these things, you are starting your day with a healthy habit, and that's going to stack throughout the day. So the main point here is with this final S is to stack habits. Bring them with you on the road or stack new habits using if-then statements so that you can form the right action steps while on the road that keep you making progress you were making before you hit the road. And so at this point, I think I've said P.I.S.S too many times for one video, so we're going to close it up here. But I really hope that this P.I.S.S travel acronym and framework will help you and serve you or your clients next time you have a trip in the middle of a fat loss phase. And I promise, if you focus on planning ahead, using Instacart, you find support to take with you on the road, and you prioritize stacking habits, you are going to be unstoppable, whether you are at home in your own environment or you are taking your weight loss journey with you on the road. And with that said, I really hope this video helps you. And I hope if you are somebody who wants to get leaner, build a stronger body, and have a more resilient mindset, or you are a coach who is looking to level up your coaching for your clients, like the video, share the video with another coach or person losing weight that needs to see this information, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can catch my next free video giving you more simple strategies to be successful in your fitness transformation.